2-0 up against 10 men, deservedly so, looking like we've reset the whole style of play to the Fulham winning days, of last year, where we're just going for it and the playoffs are looking as though they're in reach. And what could go wrong? What could go wrong? We could just cough it all up and end up drawing 2-2 and looking abject and pathetic and poor and Sheffield United.
So the pre-match news was that after a bad performance against Derby, 𝐍𝐸𝐲, Berger and R&D all rightly benched. Somehow Robinson survives, but we welcome back Brewster for a start once again, which was great to see. And the first 10 minutes of this game already way better than the whole 90 against Derby. The intensity was back, end-to-end stuff from both teams, really good, enjoyable game of football. And the half in general has been really great. We've had shots from most of the players, half of our team have had shots on target. Bogle is cropping up everywhere. I mean, the guy can't cross a ball, but he's continually getting himself goal-scoring opportunities. And then he got the first goal. And as I say, he gets himself in these positions. Usually he's just in front of the goalkeeper. But this one outside the area, whacks it, somehow gets to a sea of legs. Great to see. And then the second goal, blatant pen, thankfully no VAR in the Championship, although I don't think it would have helped Preston anyway in this occasion. And then Billy with his pen, great pen, and now he's the joint record goal scorer, I believe, in the EFL. And somehow we're 2-0 up after a really bad performance against Derby, playing really well, intensity back, as I say, lots of crisp passing. And I don't think a player has had a bad half at all, really. No one's been bad. Yes, Robinson's got a mistake, he had that bad back pass. But other than that, he's been pretty decent as well. But special mention for that man, 𝐍𝐸𝐲𝐸𝐲, Mr. Sheffield United. He must have covered more ground in this first half than a few of those players have covered in the whole season. He'll definitely sleep tonight, and I just hope he doesn't pick up an injury. He'll look after himself. I hope the sending off doesn't spoil it as a competition. I hope Preston don't just shut up shop. We've got to be careful though, because they have this ball they're dinking over the top, this long ball, which we're kind of falling foul of a few times. We've got to be really careful of that. But hopefully we'll punish them more and we'll get a lot of goals and it'll be a really good match, thankfully. So come on the Blades.
Yeah, thanks very much, James. Yeah, what a first half, brilliant. 2-0 up against 10 men, deservedly so, looking like we've reset the whole style of play to the Fulham winning days, of last year, where we're just going for it and the playoffs are looking as though they're in reach. And what could go wrong? What could go wrong? We could just cough it all up and end up drawing 2-2 and looking abject and pathetic and poor and Sheffield United. That's exactly what happened. It's not as though we didn't expect Preston to come back at us at some stage in the game. We failed to control the game. We didn't put our chances away again. And Dye had the best chance and it was palmed away, but the rest of it, Brewster missing from close range, putting it into 𝐍𝐸𝐲𝐸. This rubbishy sort of play it into Billy's feet and tippy-tappy out wide. That's all Preston had to do, was to push us out wide into a passing game. They knew we'd cough it up in the end and they knew we'd lose confidence. Ched comes on at 65, nice to see him again. Hi, Ched, But suddenly Sheffield United are defending, and we're defending badly. And we bring 𝐍𝐸𝐲𝐸 on for Brewster, a bit of a mistake in my opinion, because Brewster looked as though he may score. And then suddenly we're fast asleep again. Fast asleep at the back, and they're 2-1. They've got the wind in their sails. They've got to go. And it looks very much then like they may just steal the draw. And we're trying to defend in midfield and we're trying to eke it out with them, and Hurrihan gets a yellow card and so does Bogle. Hurrihan hits a free kick against the wall. It's just not good enough. And then 𝐍𝐸𝐲𝐸 thinks he's got all the time in the world in midfield, gets robbed by one of their defenders, I believe. Ball played wide. It's rolled gently and sedately across the box. Nobody picks it up apart from their striker at the back post, and they've got their draw. They've stolen the points off us. And it's just not good enough. We're fast asleep in most of that second half. We're playing as though we want the draw against 10 men. That's not Sheffield United. It's not the Sheffield United I want anyway. And there's loads of fans going on tonight from Preston and loads of fans across the country who are thinking, what has our team become? Well, our team's become everything we've ever feared it would become, which is a mediocre, probably lower-end Championship side, because tonight, in the second half, we played exactly like that. We deserved what we got. It was poor, abject football. You need to be ashamed of yourselves, Sheffield United. That was horrendous. And we best come out the next game as though we want to win it and win it good. Up the Blades from Pommpey. Over to you, Evie, for the marks out of 10.
Hi Blades, so I am bringing you the ratings for this evening's game against Preston North End. It's just another really frustrating game and a really annoying result. And these ratings are going to reflect my frustration. So I'll start with my highest rated player of the game, and that is 𝐍𝐸 with a score of 8. I thought he was really good today. He was excellent. He made several really good saves, most notably the 2 at the start of each halves. Really good reaction saves, both of them, and they should have set the tone for both them halves. He deserved a lot more at this game because he did everything possible to make sure we didn't concede. Enda Stevens, I've given a 6. Another not good game from Stevens today. He was slow, both attacking defensively, provided little to no service at all. Every time he got in a good position, he wasted it. I just wish we could somehow get Stevens back from a few years ago because he was really good then, and I don't know what's happened. I don't really know what else to say apart from it's just disappointing. Jayden Bogle, I have given a 7. I thought it was an alright game from Jayden today. I've given him a 7 because big point was his goal to get us going. I thought it was a really good goal. Great finish from him. But it's just similar situation to Stevens. His service just isn't good enough. Bogle tried really hard attacking wise. He got in some nice spaces, put some nice passing moves together, but just wasn't anything end of it. Defensive wise, he has a lot to work on. Chris Basham, I've given him a 6.5. I thought he was the best of the 3 centre-halves today. He was his typical Basham performance, getting forward, trying to get the attacks going, putting in some crosses. Not that they were best, but he was putting in crosses, putting some really nice tackles in, getting the ball out when we needed it to be. Was shouting a lot, you could hear him. The only things I would say is that he was a little bit out of position for their first goal, but other than that, I thought he had a decent game. Egan, I've given a 6. Egan is a really weird one because we've seen both sides of him. We've seen, you know, how he can play when his confidence is on the floor, but also how he can play when he's at his best. And he was a bit of both today. I thought he was good in parts, especially in that first half. But in that second half, he got bullied a lot. You know, he was losing out on a lot of headers. He was panicking when he had to get rid of the ball. The main problem we have is with the balls going over the top, we all just seem to struggle massively. And there just seems to be quite a lot of miscommunication between the centre-halves. And I feel with Egan, because he's the centre middle defender, he should be orchestrating what the rest of them do and communicating and making sure there's that solid back line that doesn't let anything through. And he just doesn't do that for me. Robinson, I have given him a lovely score of 4. There isn't much else we can say about Jarrod Robinson other than he just is not good enough. He just isn't good enough. He is one of the big reasons why there's so much panic when teams are on the attack, because you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to take out your own player or run in a completely opposite direction, which we've seen on occasion with him. He's just a liability, really, and I don't really understand why we're persevering with him when we've seen how bad he is and how he just isn't good enough. Surely it'd be better to have a young lad in there than this guy who just does not know how to play football. Please, Hecky, just take him out of the team. Norwood, I've given him a 6.5. I thought Norwood was pretty good today, actually. I thought him and Horan worked well together, and they have done recently. But I thought Norwood was good. He put some good tackles in. He did his typical Norwood thing where he kind of lost his player a few times. But overall, I thought he was pretty good. Did some good passing movements. Tried to get on the front foot. Was good from him today. Hurahan, I've given him a bit higher. I've given him a 7. Just because I thought he was the driving force in that midfield. He worked really well with Ndai and Norwood put together. And he made some really good passes through little nooks and crannies. Was excellent. He had a few shots, one right at the end which got blocked, but if that hadn't got blocked, that was going in. You could see that a mile off. It was a really, really good shot. So yeah, hopefully we get to see more performances like this from Hourihane. I've given him a 7. And 𝐍𝐸, I thought he was great today again. I've given him a 7.5. He just is a class above, isn't he, what we have at the minute. He's just, for his age and for, the amount of experience he's had in first team football, it's remarkable how well he's actually doing for us when, we're not doing well as a team. That first half, he was unplayable at times. He was running rings around their place, was putting some fantastic moves together, dribbling, really good one-touch play, some lovely triangles with the rest of midfield and the strikers as well. Really good play from him. He struggled a little bit in the second half, but they all did, and we just fell to bits in that second half, didn't we? But I thought he had a really, really good game. Brewster, I have given a 7. Apart from a few missed chances, I thought he was really good today, Brewster. I thought he was one of our best attacking sparks. And I don't really know why he was brought off so early. It must be a fitness thing. I mean, at least I hope it is. But I thought it was really good. His movement was really good. He was making the runs that he should have been making. And the runs that we didn't see last season at the start of this, he was making them now, which was really good to see. And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he has had some time off with an injury, and it's only really now that he's coming back into the fold of the first team. Sharp, I've also given a 7. I thought him and Brewster worked really well together. Sharp blasted that penalty, didn't he? Fantastic penalty from him, and another goal to add to his ever-growing EFL tally. I've only rated one of the subs, and that's 𝐍𝐸, because the other two, they just didn't get enough time. And I've given 𝐍𝐸 a 5. I'm sorry for all the 𝐍𝐸 lovers out there, but I just don't think he was the right substitute for today. He came on, he just slowed the game down massively when we needed that injection of something if we were going to bring a player on, not to slow the game down, which is exactly the perfect scenario for Preston. He was trying things that he didn't need to try. He was trying to do clever things rather than the simple things. And I don't really understand. He really, really annoyed me with their equalising goal. I think he could have done a lot better. 𝐍𝐸, I'm giving a 5 as well. Not a good game at all. Tactically inept today. Really poor. I don't know what he was really thinking that second half. It just felt like all the players wanted to slow down when what we should have been doing was keeping them backed up in their own half, keep on grinding them down, get another goal, play fast. But instead, everything just slowed down, and it felt like we were the ones without any space, and we were the ones being hounded. So they're my ratings for today, Blades. Please let me know what you think. I'm sorry if I've gone on a bit of a rant. I'm sorry if I've been a bit negative. Drop in the comments what you'd change and what your opinions are. We all love to hear them. So yeah, Blades, we'll see you on the next one, and fingers crossed we can step it up a gear. Up the Blades.
Good evening all. Positives and negatives from that sucker punch from Preston North End. Recording this immediately after full time, which maybe isn't the best thing to do. Positives is a point away from home. That's about all I can give you for positives. I suppose Jayden Bogue got forward for the goal. Some good news. Billy tucked away the penalty to make it 2-0. Against 10 men, you're 2-0 up, away from home, with an hour to play. Only Sheffield United can do that. Before Preston scored, big negatives. Hold the ball, spread the game, keep possession, get forward, get a third, kill the game off. Make sure that it's game over. They should never, ever been allowed a sniff of getting back into that game. Not even a sniff. It is unprofessional of the players to let a 2-goal lead slip in that fashion. It's unforgivable. It's 2 points thrown away. They've not learned from the Preston game at home in the season when we got in front in that game and let them score in injury time. It's pathetic. Bookings for dissent. Not finishing off games. Substitutions were wrong. Poor substitutions tonight. In my eyes, the team selection was poor, but that's my opinion. It feels like a defeat for the second time this season against Preston North End. Negatives. It's just negative. I just cannot get my breath at how we can throw away a 2-0 lead against 10 men away from home in that fashion. The only surprise and the only positive is they didn't go and get the winner when they could have done, at the end when they were breaking forward 3-on-2 and they made a mess of it, because that really would have summed it up. Sorry, Blades, it's a complete and utter downer. It's a point, but it feels like 2 dropped. Things have got to pick up quickly. We were all delighted, waxing lyrical after the game against Fulham, how we'd held on, done such a great job. Later, you know, you're 2-0. We're conceding goals for fun now. We were looking solid. Suddenly, we're not. And I just don't know what's going wrong. Sorry it's a downer. 2-2. Good night. I just lost for words. We go again Saturday, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we can turn a corner. For now, up the Blades. We keep fighting.